thinking in my head that we all need a mom. I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now.
Yeah.
But in our country, we need you to be mama of the country.
That was the Drew Barrymore show. How pathetic. I like Drew. I mean, since she was a kid, E.T., she's been in this business a long time. Beautiful woman. But man, has she turned into such a simping asshole. Okay, all you Democrats, you want to talk about he's a convicted felon. Look at all the people that used to be with him that are now against him. Even his wife. All right, we'll talk about that. He paid off Stormy Daniels, a porn star, for hush money during his election. Yeah, no one in Washington's ever done anything like that before, huh? Let's take a look.
America is an uncharted territory. We are angrier and more deeply divided than we've ever been at any point in our history since the Civil War. And at the eye of the storm is Donald Trump, ripping families apart, threatening women's most basic rights. I'm running for Attorney General because I will never be afraid to challenge this illegitimate president when our fundamental rights are at stake.
That was Letitia James, the woman who wanted to prosecute Trump. That was a campaign commercial she made, promising, running on the very fact that I will get Trump. Also sounds like she might have been denying the results of a fair election. Where would she ever get that idea?
Lock her up is still a big popular line.
I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president.
Well, thank God it was Hillary Clinton. We all know she is as innocent as a newborn baby, as innocent as the driven snow.
Morning, Director Comey. Secretary Clinton said she never sent or received any classified information over her private email. Was that true?
Our investigation found that there was classified information sent.
So it was not true.
Right, that's what I said.
Okay. Well, I'm looking for a little shorter answer so you and I are not here quite as long. Secretary Clinton said there was nothing marked classified on her emails either sent or received. Was that true?
That's not true. There were a small number of portion markings on, I think, 3 of the documents.
Secretary Clinton said I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material. Was that true?
There was classified material emailed.
Secretary Clinton said she used just one device. Was that true?
She used multiple devices during the 4 years of her term as Secretary of State.
Secretary Clinton said all work-related emails were returned to the State Department. Was that true?
No, we found work-related emails, thousands, that were not returned.
Secretary Clinton said neither she nor anyone else deleted work-related emails from her personal account. Was that true?
That's a harder one to answer. We found traces of work-related emails on devices or in Slack space, whether they were deleted or whether when a server was changed out, something happened to them. There's no doubt that there were work-related emails that were removed electronically from the email system.
Next up is Fani Willis. Let's talk about how innocent she is.
I'm at 5, a whistleblower against Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis testifying at the state capitol. Atlanta News First political reporter Doug Reardon sat in, and Doug, she says the DA actually misused federal funds meant for youth gang prevention.
That's right. That is what she testified here to senators at the state capitol today. That whistleblower's name is Amanda Timpson, and she was in charge of that gang prevention program. She wrote the grant that she is alleging was misused on things like laptops, travel, and swag for the DA's office. She had actually been an employee of the DA's office before Fani Willis even took over as district attorney. And she said when she flagged what she said was an illegal use of that grant money, she was reprimanded, demoted, and eventually fired.
Learning that Mueller wrote, while this report does not conclude that the president committed a crime, it also does not exonerate him.
Here's the good news. I did nothing wrong. There was no collusion. There was no obstruction. The IG report yesterday went a long way to show that. And I think that the Mueller investigation has been totally discredited.
Trump, last night in response to you running, ran a rather mocking video. I guess he's making fun of your weight.
So fuck Chris Christie's fat ass. Fuck Mike Pence, the guy you all hated. You all hated his ass. What do these guys do? The minute they're out, the minute that they get the boot, they gotta talk shit. You all remember this douchebag? Mike Avenatti, Stormy Daniels' lawyer. You guys had him on all the talk shows talking shit about what a great guy he was. He might run for president one day until you found out he was stealing money from his clients and now he's sitting in prison. Defending Stormy Daniels, the whole Trump hush money thing. Only Trump would do something like that.
There are distinct similarities here between the John Edwards prosecution in 2008, where he paid over $1 million to his mistress to keep her quiet.
Congress has paid over $17 million in hush money for sexual misconduct inside of the offices in these buildings. And what's more is that was taxpayer money, right? The allegation is that President Trump paid $130,000 of his own money. But here in Congress, there may be some on this dais. I mean, I'm for turning loose all of these records. Who in here has had the taxpayer pay for their sexual misconduct charges the hush money? I bet there's some over there. There may be some over here. I don't know, but I do know it's taxpayer money, and I do know not a single penny of it has been turned in as a campaign finance expense.
It must be remembered that the Democrats are the radical ones on this position because they support abortion up to and even beyond the 9th month. The concept of having an abortion in the later months and even execution after birth, and that's exactly what it is. The baby is born, the baby is executed after birth, is unacceptable, and almost everyone agrees with that. My view is now that we have abortion where everybody wanted it from a legal standpoint, the states will determine by vote or legislation or perhaps both, and whatever they decide must be the law of the land, in this case, the law of the state. Many states will be different. Many will have a different number of weeks, or some will have more conservative than others, and that's what they will be. At the end of the day, this is all about the will of the people. You must follow your heart or, in many cases, your religion or your faith. Do what's right for your family and do what's right for yourself. Do what's right for your children. Do what's right for our country and vote. So important to vote. This 50-year battle over Roe v. Wade took it out of the federal hands and brought it into the hearts, minds, and vote of the people in each state. It was really something. Now it's up to the states to do the right thing. Like Ronald Reagan, I am strongly in favor of exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother.
So Trump doesn't think the federal government should decide for you. He never said you can't do it. And all that craziness about after birth abortions or killing a baby, where did that idea ever come from?
Howard? Ralph Northam was embroiled in a major controversy in the 2 days before the disclosure of that racist yearbook photo. But most of the networks ignored the furor over a bill the governor was defending to lift some restrictions on late-term abortion, fueled by his remarks in a radio interview.
If a mother is in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mothers.
Those words drew plenty of coverage in the next 48 hours on conservative sites.
But how about old Ralphie boy there from Virginia? Sure sounded like he was talking about maybe taking out a living child, a baby that was alive. Sounded that way. And now y'all want to say even Melania doesn't agree with Trump. Well, let's take a look at what she actually has to say about it.
This morning, we are seeing a reported glimpse into former First Lady Melania Trump's new memoir, in which she breaks from her husband's stance on abortion, supporting a woman's right to choose. In excerpts published by The Guardian and not independently verified by ABC News, she writes, "Why should anyone other than the woman herself have the power to determine what she does with her own body? A woman's fundamental right of individual liberty to her own life grants her the authority to terminate her pregnancy if she wishes. adding it is imperative to guarantee that women have autonomy in deciding their preference of having children based on their own convictions, free from any intervention or pressure from the government.
Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth, individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
Now, you could read the book and find out what Melania means, or you can just watch The View.
Melania Trump came out and said she's about as pro-choice as they come. And that's her personal position. She doesn't think the state has any position to interfere with a woman's right to choose. And here was the reaction on The View. Watch.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
Well, really?
She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want anything to do with him. She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Would you look? This is a network that still runs out fact checks to these women, like it's concerned about them staying factual.
Oh, I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been, What can be unburdened by what has been. There are those who are unable to see what can be, but there are many more who are able to see what can be unburdened by what has been.